The scrapyard on the edge of New Titan colony sprawled like a graveyard of civilizations. Twisted metal from a dozen worlds lay rusting under the pale orange sky, monuments to wars long forgotten. Colonel Raynor Briggs walked through the debris with heavy steps, his prosthetic leg whirring softly with each movement. The war had ended 3 years ago, but for men like him, it never truly stopped. He wasn't looking for anything in particular, just walking, existing. The therapist at the VA center said he needed a purpose, something to care for. He'd laughed bitterly at that. What purpose was there for a soldier when the shooting stopped? A sound caught his attention. A low, pained growl emanating from behind a pile of decommissioned battlecruiser parts. Briggs paused, his hand instinctively moving to where his sidearm used to be. Old habits. He rounded the corner and stopped dead. Chained to a rusted support beam was a creature from nightmares. An alien panther, easily 8 feet long, its fur matted and scarred. One eye was milky white with blindness. The other gleamed with feral intelligence. Its left rear leg bent at an unnatural angle, clearly broken and healed wrong. Radiation burns mottled its hide and several teeth were missing from its snarling maw. Ugly didn't begin to describe it. Vracul unit, Briggs muttered, recognizing the species. The Vracul had been bioengineered war beasts used by the Caliph Empire during the Outer Rim conflicts. Powerful, intelligent, and utterly loyal to their handlers. This one had clearly outlived its usefulness. The creature's working eye fixed on him, and surprisingly, the growl subsided. It simply stared, as if measuring him. Briggs should have walked away. The creature was dangerous, damaged, probably diseased. But as he looked into that single good eye, he saw something he recognized. The look of a soldier abandoned by those he'd served. "Nobody wants you either, huh?" Briggs said quietly. The panther's ear twitched. Against every ounce of common sense, Briggs approached slowly, hands visible. "Easy now. I'm not here to hurt you." The Vracul tensed but didn't attack. Up close, Briggs could see the creature was starving, ribs visible through mangy fur. He spent the next hour cutting through the chain with tools from a nearby shed. The yard owner, a greasy Thulian merchant, was happy to be rid of the useless thing for free. When the final link broke, the panther didn't run. It just stood there swaying slightly as if unsure what freedom meant anymore. "Come on," Briggs said. "Let's get you fixed up." The journey back to his small habitat module was slow. The Vracul, he'd started calling it by its species name since he didn't know if it had one, limped beside him, maintaining a wary distance but following nonetheless. Over the following weeks, something unexpected happened. Briggs found himself with that purpose the therapists had mentioned. He spent his meager pension on medical supplies, setting the creature's leg properly, treating its infections, feeding it protein synthesizers. The Vracul accepted his ministrations with surprising patience, as if it understood he was trying to help. More surprisingly, Briggs started talking to it. About the war, about the friends he'd lost, about the guilt that gnawed at him in the dark hours. The panther would simply listen, its good eye tracking him as he spoke, occasionally making soft rumbling sounds that felt almost comforting. "You know what's funny?" Briggs said one evening, running a brush through the creature's slowly improving coat. "Everyone thinks humans are soft, that we're too emotional for real war, but that's exactly what makes us dangerous. We care too damn much. We get attached to things, to people, even to broken alien panthers we have no business saving." The Vracul rumbled, pressing its massive head against his chest. 3 months later, the past came calling. Briggs woke to alarms blaring across the colony. Raiders, a mix of rogue Caliph and human pirates. The colony defense force was minimal. Most residents were civilians. He heard screams in the distance, plasma fire lighting up the night. His hands shook as he reached for the rifle he'd sworn he'd never touch again. Beside him, the Vracul was on its feet, a deep growl rumbling through its chest. The creature had filled out, its coat now glossy black, muscles rippling beneath. The broken leg had healed remarkably well. "Stay here," Briggs ordered, heading for the door. The panther followed. "I said stay." He turned to face it, and what he saw stopped him cold. The Vracul's eye burned with purpose, with determination. It positioned itself beside him, ready. Waiting for his command, Briggs understood then. This creature was a warrior too, discarded, broken, but never defeated, and it had chosen him as its handler. "All right then," he said quietly. "Let's go to work." They moved through the colony like shadows of war itself. Briggs's tactical training combined with the Vrakul's raw power proved devastating. The Panther took down raiders with surgical precision, protecting civilians while Briggs coordinated the scattered defense forces through his old military comm. When a group of pirates cornered a family near the habitation center, the Vrakul launched itself forward with a roar that shook the ground. It was magnificent, terrifying, beautiful. This was what it had been created for. But now it fought not for empire or handler, but by choice. For the man who had shown it kindness when the universe had shown it none. By dawn, the raiders were retreating. The colony had held, largely because of one old veteran and his ugly panther. As the adrenaline faded, Briggs sat heavily against a wall. The Vrakul limped over, its injured leg clearly bothering it after the exertion, and settled beside him with a contented rumble. "Some purpose, huh?" Briggs said, scratching behind the creature's scarred ear. The colony administrator approached them, eyes wide with a mixture of fear and gratitude. "Colonel Briggs, what is that thing?" Briggs looked at his companion, at the scars they both bore, at the second chance they'd given each other. "This," he said firmly, "is Vrakul, my partner, and if you ever need us, we'll be here." The Panther rumbled its agreement, and for the first time in 3 years, Rainer Briggs smiled. Sometimes salvation came not from finding purpose, but from being someone else's purpose. In saving the discarded beast, he had saved himself. And in a universe that often forgot its warriors, they had found something worth fighting for again: each other.